It's Hong Kong's big international extravaganza on Sunday, the 35th running of Longines HKIR. 3 defending champions return and no fewer than 20 individual Group 1 winners line up to try and add their name to a rich roll of honour.
King Prawn dives, but he missed. Sunline, the Mayor of the World, wins it from Very King Prawn. Ways aboard, runs away, 2 lengths clear. Silent witness, what a champion, wins at a length the national currency.
Lord Kanaloa, he's going to make it back-to-back wins in the spread. He's swan song of racing. He's waving to the crowd, Lord Kanaloa.
Morris careering away with 100 to go. He'll sign off as one of Japan's greatest. He is invincible, beauty generation.
This equine wrecking ball has demolished another field. Golden 60 beats Southern Legend.
I'm Andrew Jeune. Great to have your company for our HKIR special. I'm very pleased to say we're joined by the racing editor, Leo Schlink, as well from the Jockey Club. Leo, it's going to be a fantastic day on Sunday.
Amazing day in store for us, and really looking forward to this. 4 Group 1s, 100 million Hong Kong dollars spread across those 4 races, and just some incredible horses and jockeys here as well.
And I mentioned before about the 3 champions. Of course, Golden 60, a lot of headlines, a lot of talk about him and this incredible winning run. But there's a lot of strength from the Japanese in the mile and the sprint and the cup as well. Love's Only You, her final start.
They've come in force, and a sense of poignancy around Love's Only You bowing out. Golden 60, his most sternest challenge so far. And the Japanese spread, and also the European spread through the events is fantastic. Yeah,
very strong representation from the UK, from Ireland and from France as well, with Alain Dupre having his final start here in Hong Kong as well. We'll go through race by race. We'll start off with the Longines Hong Kong Vase over the 2,400 metres, and they line up like this. The 8 runners with $20 million on the table. Pile driver for William Muir, Chris Grassick and Martin Dwyer from Barrier 3. Glory Vase won this 2 years ago. Jumps from Barrier 7. Columbus County from 6. Stay Foolish Japan from 4. Mogul, last year's winner, from 2. Reliable Team, perfect from him, from barrier number 1. Butterfield from 8. And bearer Christoph Sumin in the saddle. He'll jump from barrier number 5. Now we'll talk about the runners in a bit more depth with Leo in a second. But first up, we can go behind the scenes with Chris Grassick and William Muir at their base with Pile Driver.
It's wonderful. It's what you dream of. You know, we watch all these races on the TV, and we see what's happening, and we just, you know, of course, you love to be part of it, and this time we are. He looks tremendous in his skin, condition, the way he's moving, everything's great. I mean, we're just in the last week now, so we're just finishing touches before we leave, and then there's a few little things when we get over there just to get used to the place.
Off the layoff, we just started prepping him then for the winter campaign. He's coped very well. You know, as you can see him now, he looks bigger and stronger than we last saw him, and he's really strengthened. Put the weight on, and we've got himself fit again. He's just really progressed lovely as it's gone on and into the Lingfield race. And then the best part of it is the way he came out of Lingfield was just brilliant. You know, he's bouncing, he's fresh and well. I don't think we would have got to where we are today without the kind of things happening, or you know, we might not have been able to have the winter campaign if we'd campaigned him hard over the summer. So you can never really look at things as frustrating or look in regret or look backwards. You've always got to look forwards, and we now have the horse in as good a shape as he's been in, ready for, you know, the next couple of races around the world. He can travel, so they're going to go out the gates, they're going to be fast out of the gates, they're going to travel around. He can handle most tracks. He's very athletic. We've always spoke about how it doesn't matter about the ground he runs, and it doesn't matter about the track. He's a very athletic horse, and he's very light on his feet, so he should be able to get around the track nicely, and then into the home straight, be able to kick.
The track's lovely, it's flat. It's long straights. The track would be not exactly the same, but it would replicate Ascot in a way, really, because it's a big open galloping track. I think it'll be totally different because of COVID than when I went over to the internationals. I've been to the internationals twice before, but I think this will be totally different because it's going to be pretty strict on where we can go and what we do. Yes, if it had been 3 years ago, the owners could be there and it would be great. It would be real good fun all to be there together. We're not. I'm going to be there again on my own like we were at Royal Ascot. These are the great horses, great races. He's a great horse and he won't let us down.
So William with his first runner here at the International, and he has been to Hong Kong before, and I think that sort of whetted his appetite, and he's brought a really strong contender here, Leo, and pile driver.
He certainly has. For your first one here, he's certainly an imposing type of horse, and you see him on the training track, and he's a bit of a lad, but he brings a resume that backs that up as well, and when you look at his Coronation Cup and his run in the St Leger, he's clearly, for me, the horse to beat.
Yeah, he was a very smart 3-year-old. Looked like he's taken that 3 to 4. Martin Dwight, it was a long time ago, but he's enjoyed success here as well.
He has. Great to see him back. And he's someone, when he first started riding against the elite, maybe doubted himself a bit. That's no longer the case. And he comes here with world-class experience and obviously a really good association with a rising star.
We've got 2 previous winners in the race, Mogul last year and Glory Vase from 2 years ago. How do you rate them coming back again?
I think Mogul will really be well suited by the ground on Sunday. He seems to thrive on it for Aidan O'Brien. He's looked great this week working with Bolshoi Ballet and Mother Earth. So clearly you can never ever rule out any horse trained by Aidan O'Brien, and with Ryan Moore in the saddle as well. And Glory Vase, to me, he is a huge chance in the race as well. If he brings the type of form that we know he's capable of, he's a huge threat.
Can Alain Duroy-Dupre get the fairy tale finish, do you think?
Well, wouldn't that be great? With Christophe Soumillon, Barra, and seen her quite a bit over the past week or so, and anything that he touches, Mr. Dupre, anything could happen there. So you'd never ever write it off, and she's obviously a quality animal. The question mark with her is her best on soft ground. Yeah.
But it would be a fitting finale for Alain Duroy-Dupre, who's brought so many great horses here in the past and such an illustrious career as well. We've got Stay Foolish for Japan as well, and Reliable Team. Now, a bit of a surprise last time out, but he's drawn Barry 1, small field. Does he get any pressure in front, or can he upset again?
You can't knock winning form, and in a small field we know what can happen sometimes, and you know, well done to them for having a crack at it, and he's earned his place in the field, and he might just go and lead and they might just let him alone, and that creates issues later in the race.
Yeah, okay, well, Reliable Team. We have regular jockey Derek Long in the saddle as well. We'll hear from Graham Cunningham very shortly. Before that, though, we can catch up with some of the connections we head into the Vase.
He's had a quiet year. He started in Dubai, he ran respectably, and he then ran a good race in Paris in the Ghana, I think it was. The ground was very soft at Epsom in the Coronation. Didn't like it, and the same again when he went back to Deauville. He's had a few, I think a few sort of things that haven't gone quite right during the summer, so he's a bit lightly raced. But he, I think his work's been good at home, and he looks great. And we know he likes Sha Tin, he likes quick ground, and I believe Aidan's very happy with him. So we're hoping that he can step back in the right direction here. And you know, he showed a couple of times last year that he's very talented, and he's a handsome horse with great pedigree. And I still have faith that he can get back on track.
You know, it felt great. Have a nice 5 furlong gallop. Response well, you know, so happy with him. The team have gave me confidence that, you know, he's going to shoot Hong Kong and have a chance to win it. And of course, we're going to do our best.
Now we'll be joined throughout the show, I'm pleased to say, by Graham Cunningham, and he has picked out his European horse to follow here for the Longines Hong Kong Vase.
This is a really good story. Europe have won the Vase 19 times since 1994. Pile Driver's the best chance for Britain, at least. He is a high-quality Group 1 horse. He showed that as a 3-year-old in a light campaign at 4. He's shown it again. He won the Coronation Cup, genuine Group 1 race in really gritty style. Muscle problem kept him off in the summer, bounced back, giving weight away to some smart all-weather horses at Lingfield last time. Lots and lots of pluses for Piledriver. With that rating of 121, Nick, he, with Dubai Honor, is the joint highest rated horse on international marks right through the card. That tells you how good he is. Is there a negative? Perhaps a slight one. May not have been mentioned that much, but genuinely fast Sha Tin ground is something of a new question. When he reappeared at Newmarket in the spring on fast ground, he wandered both left and right. That's my one little niggler with Piledriver. Otherwise, we know he's a high quality horse. Jockey Martin Dwyer won this race 17 years ago on Phoenix Reach. He was a 27-1 chance. Piledriver won't be anything like that price. And I think he's a significant player.
Well, thanks to Graham. He'll join us a little bit later on the show again as we head off to a break, though. Stand by. We'll be looking at the Longines Hong Kong Sprint. That comes up next. And can DANH Smash go back-to-back for Japan? Welcome back to our Longines HKIR special. We're looking at the 4 big races, though. Full rundown on the 10 races on Sunday's programme. Head to the website and look for Racing to Win there, and the audio video section have a preview of the undercard as well. Now we're up to the sprints here. We'll have a look at the field in a bit more depth in a moment. But first, Nick Child joins us to look at the Overseas Challenge and what they're up against here. Despite DANH Smash winning last year, there's been a bit of a Hong Kong stronghold for the previous 5 or 6 years. Here's Nick with more.
So to the Longines Hong Kong International Sprint for 2021, a race that the local trained sprinters have been very successful in down through the years. The likes of Silent Witness, Aero Velocity and Mr. Stunning most recently have all won this race more than once. Just the 4 winners, though, from overseas trained runners since 1999. And just 1 winner since 2014. So it's not been the easiest race to win for those that have come on a raiding party to Hong Kong. Let's take a look at those winners, and we've got to cast our minds right back to the year 2000 and 2001 when Falvalon was successful when the race was run over 1,000 metres. That win was backed up in 2010 by JJ the Jet Plane for South Africa, under Pierre Stridham taking the prize on that occasion. And well, who can forget Lord Kanaloa winning the race in 2012. He was able to back it up with a huge performance 12 months on.
Lord Kanaloa's 3 wide going into the first turn, but getting cover. Then Joy and Fun back on the rails. Slade Power and the Power Blue Cap deep out. Then Frederick Engels, Eagle Regiment between them. 2 further back to Lucky 9. Soul Power, Sterling City's well back on the fence. And Time After Time's last. 5.50 out. It's Rich Tapestry just in front of Go Baby Go and Jawala. Cerise Cherry pinned in 4th on the fence. Then Charles the Great. Lord Kanaloa's had no cover, but he cruises up on the outside. Then Slade Power, Eagle Regiment, and further back to Frederick Engels, who's strung up in traffic. Awada says go now on Lord Kanaloa, and the favourite dashes clear in the sprint. Awada up and down in the saddle, but away goes Lord Kanaloa. He's going to make it back-to-back wins in the sprint. He's swan song of racing. He's waving to the crowd, Lord Kanaloa. Away he goes.
And more recently, DANH Smash taking the prize for Japan once again 12 months ago. Ryan Moore was on board him, and he came from barrier number 14 to win the Longines Hong Kong International Sprint. And when we take a look at the stats as far as the barriers are concerned, since the year 2006, when it was first run over 1,200 metres, gate number 6 has been the most successful, with 3 victories coming from that barrier. You can win from almost anywhere, and when we take a look at the local stats for 1,200 metre races here at Sha Tin, it is gate number 8 that has been successful on 12 occasions over this course and distance. So it's a race where you can win from almost anywhere, perhaps more preferably middle to outside, but it's going to be a good race nevertheless.
Great stuff. Thanks, Nick. Well, let's see how that's played out then as far as the barrier draw is concerned then for the sprint. The richest turf sprint over the 1,200 metres in the world as well. Hot King Prawn drew barrier 2 for Ryan Moore. Pixie Knight, big hope from Japan. Barrier 8 from him. DANH Smash, last year's winner in 10 Wellington. Barrier 11, probably not what they'd have chosen. Skyfield off the inside, Naboo Attack from 6. Amazing Stars drawn wide. Stronger in 4, Courier Wonder, and then Resistencia has drawn barrier number 7. Christophe Soumillon will be in the saddle there. Now, we'll talk about it in a little more depth and some of the other runners as well. First up, I'd like to welcome Nihiro Goda to the show. We asked him to pick the best of the Japanese for the sprint.
Yeah, Pixie Night is, now rising like a skyrocket. As you said, the Pixie Night won the Sprinter Stakes. So he is the first 3-year-old winner of the Sprinter Stakes since Aston Martin, who won the Sprinter Stakes in 2007, 14 years ago. So Sprinter Stakes are tough race for 3-year-old, but the Pixie Night won that race by 2 lengths. This was an easy win. Immediately after the Sprinter Stakes, the connection declared that next start is a Hong Kong sprint. Well, I believe Pixie Night is in very, very good form, and he has a good chance. And he is by Maurice. Maurice was a 3-4-3 at Sha Tin racecourse. I hope Pixie Night inherits the suitability at the Sha Tin racecourse from his sire Maurice.
The hero will join us a little bit later on again, but all over Pixie Night, Leo, just a 3-year-old, last start Group 1 winner.
Amazing form line that he brings, and very much the rising star of sprinting ranks around the world, not just in Japan, but his win in the Sprinter Stakes really underline how talented he is, and he looks to have adapted really well. And bearing in mind what Nick said about the barriers, he's in barrier 8, and I think that's ideal for him. He'll have options, and this will be a race where the pressure's on right from the start, and he's shown in the past in his short career that he can handle that.
The other 2 Japanese runners, though, you couldn't dismiss. I mean, down on Smash, back to reclaim or claim his crown again, and Resistencia's got form around Pixie Nights, beating him actually 2 starts back.
She has, and she ran second to him in the Sprinter Stakes as well, as you say, form around him. And down on Smash overcame a wide barrier last year. I think he'll really enjoy the good ground here on Sunday, and those 3 for me are the obvious contenders, but we know Hong Kong horses always rise to the occasion.
Yeah, I think that the home ground advantage has to count for something to a certain extent, but both Lucky Patch and Wellington, I mean, Lucky Patch, he surprised me. I don't know if he has you, but he's been brilliant these last 2 wins. Can he raise again, do you think?
He keeps on elevating, and I know Zach was hoping for a barrier a little bit better than 9, but he'll make do with it, and we know what a brilliant rider Zach is. And this horse for Francis, it just keeps on improving, and when horses do that, sometimes they can keep on doing that, and maybe there is a Group 1 in him. It'd be a huge rise for him, but his trajectory is pointing that way. Yeah,
Zach was brilliant again on Wednesday night at the IJC, winning that for a 3rd time. Wellington, again, speaking of draws, I'm sure if given the choice, they probably wouldn't have chosen Barry at 11.
Absolutely. I think crestfallen was the way to describe Richard post-draw, but this horse we know is mercurial. He has the talent, and if it pans out for him and that he can have the last dash at them, he's capable of running exceptional splits, along with Nabu Attack. I think he's a horse that is working really well this week, and we know that if the pace is on, that really brings him into it.
Yeah, I could see it being quite a bunch finish like it was last year. And of course, we can't forget about our champion sprinter, Hot King Prawn.
Absolutely, yeah. He's a well-drawn barrier too. We know John Size is a master at getting horses to peak on the day. Career Wonder as well, is drawn well.
Absolutely, yeah.
But Hot King Prawn, yeah, Group 1 winner, really nicely drawn. Ryan Moore, a lot to like about that.
Yeah, there's plenty of assistance from the saddle, isn't there? Hot King Prawn and Ryan, of course, won the race last year down on Smash. So we can hear from some of the connections about the barrier draw and their thoughts going into the weekend.
It's I think it's the most competitive race of the day. There's no doubt about that. There are a number of chances. The local horses, they've been mixing their form a little bit, but my bloke's been pretty solid all the way through. He's becoming more and more consistent, and I think he's really found his groove here now, and he can be a little bit of a tricky horse to ride, so we're just got to, find his rhythm and then bring him into the race at the right time.
David, Nabu Attack, you've just drawn barrier number 6 in the HKIR sprint. A very successful barrier down through the years. You must be pleased with that.
Yeah, it's a good barrier because you don't have to go too far back, and he's a swooper, and he'll probably settle midfield now. Last time he won, that was the position he settled in. So we're very happy.
And certainly gives you options, obviously, from gate number 6. And his run last time in the Jockey Club sprint was a very pleasing one.
Yeah, that makes it always harder when you draw the outside. So I haven't really studied what the opposition have drawn at this stage, but I won't swap my barrier for any of them.
He's a very consistent horse, and obviously he's a Group 1 winner around Sha Tin. He's got a nice door. I think it's quite an open race, although again, perhaps Pixie Night might be a level above. But yeah, very much looking forward to riding him. You know, on his when he brings his best form, which you know he's had his prep race, and hopefully he'll come forward. And you know, I think he's in there with a definite chance.
Fantastic season with the horse last year. I think he beat all the best horses in Hong Kong. He beat the champion sprinter of Hong Kong very convincingly on this last start. You might have, I'm sure you followed, but we had a delayed start to the season. I thought the horse ran a good race the other day.
Last race, right?
But yeah, it was his first race in 7 months, which is a long layoff for any thoroughbred. And we think we've got him in sharper condition for race 2.
Leo will have his individual selections for us at the end of the show, but as we head off to a break now, stay tuned, because after the break I catch up with Team Golden 60, Vincent Ho and Francis Loy, as they try and defend their title in the Longines Hong Kong Mile. We're up to the Longines Hong Kong Mile and our special show today. $26 million on the table as well, which includes last year's winner in Golden 60. Back to defend his crown. He'll have to try and do it from barrier number 2. Vincent Ho, of course, in the saddle. Danon Kingley draws 9 for Yuga Kawada. Indy Champ from 6. Waikuku 8. Salios gets the inside gate for Damien Lane. Vandergaard, another Japanese runner. Karis Teton rides from barrier number 3. Excellent proposal from 7. 1 of 2 in the race for John Sides, the other being Lucky Express from 11. And Mother Earth for Aidan O'Brien and Ryan Moore. The 3-year-old filly jumps from barrier number 4. Now, before we get into the race in a little bit more depth with Leo, I was lucky enough to be invited to Golden 60's stable to meet him, Francis Loy, and of course his jockey, Vincent Ho.
Golden 60, he's hit the front now, he's half a length on Waikuku, he goes full beast mode, he's out by 3. Golden 60, Southern Legend runs on, this equine wrecking ball has demolished another field.
Here he is then, the champ, Golden 60. Thank you so much for letting us spend some time with him this morning. Francis, maybe if I start with you. Can you tell us what he has been standing there very quietly? I can just see now he's trying to bite his leg. What's he like to deal with outside of race day? Has he changed much from when he was a younger horse? Is he easy to deal with?
Honestly, I would not say he changed a lot, but I think he's quite sensible horse.
And Vincent, I feel like we're invading on your personal space a little bit, because I know you spend a lot of time with him after track work and trials. You'll come and visit him after race day as well. What is it you think you get from that bond, and what is it you're doing in that time as well when you come to the stables afterwards?
Just basically, have the connection with him and see how he pulls up. I like to do some recovery work with him, and just, sometimes I try to groom him if he don't get too aggressive. It's not aggressive, but he doesn't like people to touch him too much.
Right now, though, he's standing perfectly, isn't he? But we do see him, he just...
Yeah, outside he's much better.
Yeah.
But in the box, he didn't really like... He needed his personal space for sure, so yeah.
Francis, reflecting now on his comeback win, obviously that was important that he did win, but did he do everything that you wanted him to do, and are you happy now, building on that for the rest of the season?
Yes, he seems just do the same what he was before. I'm happy to see how he win the last run, and also that race. Everybody tried to slow down the pace, and he still can make it. I'm happy to see that.
Golden 60 went to Waikuku and Sky Darcy. He's back Golden 60. It's a Ferrari against 6 Hong Kong Taxi.
Obviously, Vincent, your tactics change depending on the race, the depth of the field, the strength of the runners, but you've got to have a lot of confidence in him to do what you did in the Jockey Club Mile, that he can run those sort of fractions. that's got to have, you know, a lot of belief in the horse to be able to think that he's able to do that.
Yeah, ride him quite a lot, so I know him basically inside out, and of course it's still something that we're learn from him every time. But you know, like last run he produced 221 something, which is amazing, and you know, I know his ability, and I know how fit he is. I know he can, you know, just catch them up. So I can be a little bit more patient when they slow down that much and quicken up at 2 seconds just in a fraction of time.
Vincent, I'll leave you with the final word. What do you love most about Golden 60?
Just his personality, basically. You know, he's such a special horse, smart horse. He, you know, when it's game time, he knows, and when it's track work, he also knows. And especially when he just go past other horses, he know his job is done, and he won't, you know, use himself, you know, too much. Very sensible, you know, and he can be gentle, as you can see, if he wants to. So yeah, just basically his personality. Such a great animal.
That was really great, Leo, to be able to go and meet Golden 60. He was perfect as well, so well, because he can get a little bit tetchy at times, so he was perfect that morning. It's just an incredible story, isn't it?
It is, and for him to be chasing history in this race, for Vincent and Francis, it's just remarkable for both of them. And for me, this is the horse's greatest challenge, but there's no doubt he's up to it. But when you factor in the 4 Japanese horses, Mother Earth from Ireland, he's going to have to be right on his game. And I think barrier 2 is probably not one they would have ideally selected. They might have wanted to be a little wider, have a few more choices from there. It's going to be a fascinating race.
Yeah, tactically it'll be interesting to see what he does. There's all these records on the line. He'll break the record. He's equal now at the most number of wins. He gets close to Silent Witness, the prize money record as well. He's going to leapfrog Viva Pitaka and Exultant with his next win. So just an extraordinary story. Tactics might be the key with him. Of the others runners, you mentioned before it might be his sternest tests. The Japanese horse is an obvious place to start. What are their chances, do you think, overall?
You look at the quality they bring, and it seems to be, we're repeating ourselves about every single race, but you look at a horse like Salios, who has form around Contrail, well drawn, down on Kingley, these types of Vandergaard, really, really good horses. And if there is a chink there, they can potentially find it. But tremendous faith in Golden 60, but the Japanese contingent is right up there, and is what we want to see. This is a showcase day, the World Turf Championships, and this is a chance for Golden 60 to prove that he is the world's best in the world without any questions being asked.
Yeah, I've been watching Vandergaard at track work. It looked fantastic, but we'll see how he manages it. He's drawn barrier 3, Karis Teton rides him, and we say it all the time, but the Japanese horses, they seem to identify the right ones to travel with. The success is phenomenal. What about outside of Golden 60, the home team? Who are we looking at there?
I like an excellent proposal. Very unlucky last start. Blake Shin has a winning association with the horse. And again, the John Size factor peaking in this race. Sky Darcy has drawn barrier 10. You've got to respect his quality as well. But for me, I think excellent proposal. And Waikuku ran so well last start as well. I think they're the best of the locals.
Just very quickly, wanted to mention Mother Earth. Extraordinary, 3-year-old filly, 9 Group 1s she's running this season. This is her 10th or 5th country.
It's amazing the ground she's covered and where she's won. This is a typical Aidan O'Brien flag bearer, globe-trotting horse. We've seen it so many times. The horses come here, Highland Reel and many others across the world, and she fits into that calibre. And she has been really working well on the track with Bolshoi Ballet and Mogul, and she obviously is another one with great quality.
All right, look forward to seeing her. But Nihiro Jones is once more with 4 Japanese runners in the race. He singled out the best.
All of 4 Japanese runners in the mile is, very, very good horses, and it's not very easy to select one horse from 4 horses. But my pick is Danon Kingley, winner of Yasudakinen back in June. Well, I regard this form very highly because second finisher was a Grand Allegoria. arguably the best miler in Japan at the moment, while she has run her last race. But anyway, Danon Kingley won a Yasudakinen, holding off the late challenge by Gran Alegria. And Danon Kingley finished second in Mainichi Okan. And Mainichi Okan is won by Shunere Meister, who eventually finished second in Mile Championship. So no doubt that Danon Kingley is one of the best milers in Japan. Yes, if I need to pick up one from 4 Japanese runners, my selection is Danon Kingley.
Thanks to Godas. And then Danon Kingley, his top pick, and what's not to like about that Yasudakinen when beating the mighty mare Grand Alegria. Right, one more to go, and that is the Cup. And Joe Moreira will join us after the break to talk about his top 3 HKIR wins. One more race to go then on our HKIR special. That is the Cup, $30 million on the table there. Before that, though, Joe Moreira has 6 HKIR wins to his name. Here's his top 3.
Hello, everyone. This is Joe Moreira. I'm going to point to you my 3 favorite Hong Kong International races win. Number 3 will be in 2015, the Hong Kong International Sprint with Panaphobia. We actually won the race at the start, and I knew that from the start. He got such amazing speed out of the gate, having a head start on the other horses, and from there on I knew I was going to win the race. And I'm picking it as one of my favorite races because I knew that was a really good ride of myself. And of course, jockeys don't win by themselves, but there was a great team behind. I was very pleased and proud of winning my first international races for Tony Cruz. And this is my number 3, Hong Kong Sprint 2015.
Pinophonia kept going, 2 lengths in front from Gold Fun, continuing to close. Pinophobia in front, Gold Fun can't reach him, and Pinophobia all the way in the sprint defeats Gold Fun and not listening to me.
My number 2 race will be 2014 Hong Kong Cup with Designs on Rome. There was a little bit of a story behind this race. I rode this horse in the previous race where I was a bit unlucky. I tried my luck coming on the inside with him, and he was a kind of horse that just didn't like coming on the inside horses. So I had in myself a doubt if they were going to keep me on the horse, and fortunately John Moore was kind enough to keep me on him. At the international race, at the race itself, I was very committed to bring him on the outside where he always delivered his very best. I wasn't sure if I had won the race, but when the numbers came up, and I was definitely delighted. My biggest race, biggest win in Hong Kong for sure.
Designs on Rome still 4 lengths behind them as Criterion burst to the lead in the Cup. Military Attack, Designs on Rome running on. Archimedes further back, Criterion in front, but Military Attack descending on the scene. Designs on Rome the outside, he's in for the fight. Wow, they hit the line and Designs on Rome beat him.
And my Hong Kong International win as number 1 will be also 2014 Hong Kong Mile. I rode Able Friend on that race, a horse that has got a place in my heart, a special horse. I would describe him as the best horse I've ridden in Hong Kong. He was such a special horse to me, and the way how he won this race was incredible.
Now Able Friend with the last shot at them, and Big Red is starting to lengthen. All 1,300 pounds of him, and away he goes. Able Friend from last has put pay to them quickly. Gold Fun resiliently battling on for second, but Able Friend bolts up for Joe Moreira.
Sure, it's a tough choice for Joe, but Able Friend, Big Red back in 2014, his top pick there in the mile. Great memories there. Right, let's have a look at the fields for the Cup. $30 million here over the 2,000 metres. Kai Ying Star jumps from barrier 6. We assume he'll roll forward. Panfield for Tony Millard, barrier 1. Ishiguazu, Joe Moreira will be on board. Drew a wide gate here, barrier 12. Tourbillon Diamond, Sarsai Ladies Purse winner from 11. Dubai Honour for William Haggis and Tom Marquand from barrier 7. McSweeney for Bolger and Manning from barrier number 2. Ryan Moore will ride Bolshoi Ballet from barrier number 9. Le Papale from 3. And Loves Only You on her final start jumps from barrier number 4. So, Leo, the Cup field. It's a really deep field, lots of chances. Where do we start? Loves Only You possibly on a final racecourse appearance?
Yes, brings that Breeders' Cup form and has travelled everywhere, has arrived in great order and a fitting place for her to bow out. And we've noted recently the feats of Japanese horses at their last start. We saw it recently in Japan, and who knows, it might happen here again with Loves Only You.
Yeah, Joe Moreira riding for the Japanese stable as well as Noriko Horo. The trainer knows how to win a race here in Hong Kong, and Joe's certainly got a good record on the Japanese runners as well.
He does, and this horse has got a superior record at 2,000 metres, 4 attempts for 3 wins, and that combination with Joe and the Japanese has worked clearly. This horse is one of the top 3 or 4 contenders.
Yeah, 5th in the Tenno show, but rattled off a bit of a sequence before that. Dubai Honour for William Haggis?
Yeah, he's another rising star. And we know William Haggis, he travels horses all over the world and is so successful, and that would be another great storyline as well, but he is a horse that I've got tremendous respect for.
And the 2 Irish runners, McSweeney and Bolshoi Ballet?
Bolshoi Ballet, I think is a really, really talented horse. He'll need to make use of maybe his early speed from barrier 9 for Ryan Moore, and McSweeney, another quality animal. And this race, as you say, Andrew, runs so deep, and we mightn't even touched on the winner yet.
Yeah, all right, we'll just hold that thought for a second. We've mentioned Loves Only You there at the start. We can get a little bit more on her. Loves Only You, the globe-trotting star this year, winning in Hong Kong, in America. She's back to Hong Kong again.
Ready for the 3rd of the Group 1s on Champions Day, racing. Over on the outside, Loves Only You from Daring Tact, and then came Exultant. Glory Vase is running on. Time Warp, he's going a big race. Loves Only You, Daring Tact, and out wide Glory Vase. It's the girls, Loves Only You's in front. Daring Tact is coming again from Glory Vase. Loves Only You, what a day. Vincent Ho, Loves Only You for Japan.
In the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Turf. She continues to do so with a wide blitz. War Like Goddess is moving quickly. She's moving right now, and she's moving to the lead as they come to the top of the stretch. A 5-wide rally by War Like Goddess and Julian LaPeroux. They've taken the lead. My Sister Nat follows that run. Love battles on from the inside.
Unbelievable.
Like it. It's just amazing time. What a day, you know. After that, just I came emotion because one of my dream was to win the Breeders' Cup, and the trainer me say Haggis always look after me, and we do a lot of things. So it was just make me so happy. I won with this team because when we won QE2, but there is no trainer. You know, trainer was not allowed to go in the Hong Kong. So finally, we could celebrate same time all together. That was made me more cry and emotion. After she retire, I'll be feeling very sad. But also I want to see she will become a great mom. And I love to support Love's Only You babies coming back in Delmar Breeders' Cup, all same team. And wish we can do something again to surprise people. I believe we can do it. If you don't believe, it doesn't come true. So I believe it. We must think about a long trip from here to Hong Kong. So you cannot do too much to training because we are not racing here, you see? But we did enough. It's not easy race. It's a really tough race. And it is tough travel, tough trip for her because long time flight. But we believe she can do it.
It would be a fitting finale, wouldn't it, if Love's Only You were able to win again. But probably need to mention one of the other Japanese horses as well, Leo Papale.
Yeah, phenomenal record over this distance, and Christophe Simeon. A lot of appeal and a really good barrier. Has the ability to take up a good position, and as you know, with the 2,000 metre starts, Andrew, here, it's critical to be able to do that, and I think there's so much pointing towards her. She's looked great on the track, and I think she's the one to beat.
From the local horses, who's our number one seed, do you think?
I think Panfield. I think in a really strongly run race, barrier one, he has the ability to take a position, and if he's in a striking position when the pressure really goes on, I think he's the best stayer. He proved that last year as our champion stayer. Also, Russian Emperor, even though from barrier 10, the horse is flying, this is a huge opportunity for Blake Shin.
Yeah, I keep thinking he's capable of more. We'll find out. And Tourbillon Diamond, it's a super run from him last time out in the Sarsai Ladies Purse as well. With a number of European runners in the race, we go back to Graham Cunningham now as he puts the microscope on one of them.
Europe has been blank in the Cup for a decade or more. I think it's 11 years since Ryan Moore drove Snow Fairy to victory in this race for Europe. It's been pretty barren since, but I think it could be a case of right horse, right time with Dubai Honor. He's rated 121. That is based on his recent form. He's had a light season, only reappeared in the Britannia at Royal Ascot. He's been to France. He's won 2 good quality Group 2s. And last time he ran a screamer for second in the Kipco Champion Stakes at Ascot on the soft ground. He pulled a bit hard that day, but he threw down a powerful challenge, just beaten by Sealiway. Look at the horses behind him, Nick. Derby winner, King George winner, Adea was behind him. Runaway Juddmonte International winner, Mishrif was behind him. That's the level of opposition he's taken on and beaten. Soft ground through the autumn. He did win on fast ground at Newmarket in the summer. I think there's plenty of potential for Dubai Honor and Tom Marquand to go really well. Haggis, William Haggis, has had a tremendous season. He's shown with a Dave that he's very adept at traveling horses, long distances. He was a bit of a naughty boy in his early days, Dubai Honor. He had to go away last winter for some remedial training with the gold medal 3-day event to Laura Collett, but he seems a very straightforward horse nowadays. I think he's Europe's leading candidate in this year's Cup.
Thanks to Graham again. So Dubai Honor would be a fitting end to the week for Tom Marquand as well. He enjoyed his first win, the IJC, on Wednesday nights as well. But Leo, it's that time. We have to make the selections. I just need your top pick for each of the 4 races. We'll go in race order as well. So we'll start off with the Vase.
So for the Vase pile driver, really like the form line, and I think that he's the horse on the rise and the horse to beat.
All right. And the mile, no sentiment here?
Golden 60, this is his toughest test, but I think he wins.
Yeah, the sprint?
Pixie Knight, really exciting horse, and I think you follow through from last year down on Smash. I think this guy is supremely talented, and he's the one to beat.
Yeah, and then finally, the Cup.
Sticking with Japan, Le Papale, really like so much about the draw, the jockey, the record over the distance. So I think it's going to be a strong day for Japan, but Hong Kong has its day in the sun as well.
Yeah, so 2 for Japan, but it is truly really an international event, I think, with plenty of chances as well.
It is. It's the meeting of the 2 hemispheres, and we're lucky enough to stage this in these conditions, and we're going to have beautiful weather. there's going to be hopefully fair racing, and we're going to see 4 great champions.
All right, okay. As far as the details are concerned, the first race on Sunday, that kicks off at 12:25. The big ones, race 4, the Vase at 2 o'clock Hong Kong time, the sprint at 2:40, the mile then 3:50, and we finish up with the Cup at 4:30 p.m. And Leo, yourself and Declan have it all covered on the social media channels on the website as well.
Declan's an amazing operator. I'm looking forward to working with him again.
Well, thanks for your time today, and enjoy the action on Sunday.
Thanks, Andrew.
All right, well, that's the show. Thanks for watching. Just sit back and enjoy the action now on Sunday for the Longines HKIR. It's the Turf World Championships.